G'day everyone, this is the countdown of my top 20 songs, and what better way to kick us off than with a bona fide punk rock classic. Number 20 on this list is the Sex Pistols with Anarchy in the UK. One of their, I guess, three signature tracks, the others being God Save the Queen and Pretty Vacant. All those three songs on their memorable Nevermind the Bollocks album released in 1977. Hard to split all three of them, really, in my opinion, but I've gone with this one. It's just, it's got a lot of power about it, this song. I know a lot of people talked about the Pistols for their antics and their ethos, but musically, that whole album just rocks. And this is a standout track for mine, particularly the beginning of it. It's a real wall of sound with the guitars, lots of layering of Steve Jones's guitar parts. And Johnny Rotten, of course, one of the great frontmen in rock music, with that right now and that manic cackle that takes us into the lyrics, which are all about tearing down society and causing mayhem. And the punk movement in the late 70s in the UK certainly had that sort of impact. It's a terrific song. It's got a couple of great guitar breaks in it as well, so it's not just verse, chorus, a really full sound, good rhythm section. Glenn Matlock, the original bass player, plays on this one, and he was a bit of an upgrade on Sid Vicious, who'd come later, so musically it stands up. Johnny Rotten, of course, holds things together. I love his voice. It's got a high pitch, but it really cuts through. Certainly never gets lost in the mix. And the lyrics pretty much say it all about rebelling against society, not putting up with the establishment. And whereas God Save the Queen obviously took a dig at the monarchy, this is about tearing down the whole system. So as an appeal to a young generation, it certainly didn't want for power or meaning. It was the first Sex Pistols song I ever heard, so perhaps that's why it's had the biggest impact on me. But musically, I think it's the Pistols song which holds up the best. They're one of those bands which over time you've heard a lot about, and you hear a lot about Malcolm McLaren, their ubiquitous manager who didn't really manage them very much, just made a name for himself. But it's a pity they never really got beyond this album, because there was a lot of potential in that band, and of course we heard a fair bit of that realised later through John Lydon with Public Image Limited. But this was a great start for him, and a great signature tune of the whole punk music movement, Anarchy in the UK. Stick it on, get angry, stamp your feet, yell at your parents, but mostly just appreciate some rip-roaring punk music. It is a bona fide classic, and that is number 20 on my top 20 songs countdown. We'll be back soon with number 19.